Before you swipe away from this video, give me a couple of minutes of your time so I can show you how you can optimize your costs when utilizing the incredible Microsoft Copilot at home. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Matthew Hardman, and I love productivity tools. I love the way they help me capture information. I love the way they help me render data into something interesting. And I love the way that they help me to share and deliver a message or a vision to people around me. Now, with the introduction of Microsoft Copilot, Microsoft has been able to introduce generative AI capabilities into many of these productivity tools, which is helping to enhance creativity, maximize productivity, and essentially get our work done, maybe even so in a fun kind of way. The place where people will probably experience Microsoft Copilot for the first time will more than likely be their workplace. The workplace is where you have access typically to technology which comes under maybe an enterprise software subscription. It's what your organization licenses you to go ahead and use. And through those licensing programs, your organization may have chosen to subscribe to Copilot, and that's why you might see it in your workplace. Now, when you come home, you would probably want to have a personal subscription. And I utilize Microsoft 365, which also comes with Microsoft Copilot. However, it's a little bit different in the way it's actually utilized and what you would experience in the workplace. In the workplace with a Copilot subscription, you would typically get kind of unlimited utilization of Copilot. You can use it non-stop to ask lots of questions, render documents for you, do lots of different things. But when you utilize Microsoft Copilot in your 365 family subscription, there is a limit on how many times you can actually utilize it. And I want to show you what that limit actually looks like. So with the introduction of AI features in Microsoft 365 personal and family subscriptions, we've implemented a credit system to help you fully leverage these advanced tools. This is basically this credit system which I'm talking about. There are limitations to how much of the Copilot technology you can actually utilize on a monthly basis. Now, I won't go through the entire document itself, but if you come down here, what you'll find is how many AI credits do you get? With the Microsoft 365 personal and family subscribers, get 60 AI credits per month, which can be used across various applications, including Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Microsoft Forms, OneNote, Designer, Notepad, Photos, and Paint. So that's a lot of products that you can actually utilize. And you can imagine utilizing Copilot in these different technologies can run down your credits very, very quickly. So what I want to do is show you how that actually looks like in terms of every time I do something with Copilot, where those credits get consumed. So I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to look here at my Microsoft account. And down here, you'll notice there is an AI credit balance. And it says here, the total remaining credits is 43 out of 60. So yeah, I've been trying out Microsoft Copilot. I've been using it for some training I've been doing to look at generative AI and prompt engineering. But as I'm doing the labs, it's consuming the actual credits of Copilot. So what I want to show you now is how this actually happens. So I'm going to go over to a Excel spreadsheet here, which has the states of Australia. Now, you might ask, how do I go ahead and see this credit history? How do I get this information? Well, you can go to your account website and have a look at the information there under the Microsoft page. Or what you can do here is open up Copilot. And when you do open it up, it actually gives you a link to AI credit balance, which you can refer to the account page to get that information. So let's now try and actually do something here which will utilize the Copilot features. So let's go and add here the population per area. So if I write here, add a column that shows population density for each state. And so Copilot's going to go ahead and actually look at understanding the data. It's going to look at it. And here it says, hey, I've done this. We can go ahead and actually insert the column and get that in. That is a Gen AI credit that's actually been utilized. So if I go over here now to my browser and see the 43 we had before, if I refresh this, what we should see here is that I'll be down to 42 credits remaining. So every time you make a request in Excel or any one of these different applications, you will actually be consuming credits. So if you start to mess around on your home subscription on this, you will find you might run into Copilot credits shortage very, very quickly. Now, the intention is obviously that they want you to go ahead and actually subscribe to something like a Copilot plan, like a Copilot Pro plan. And that will give you unlimited usage, but it can be pretty expensive, to be honest, right? I mean, $20 per user per month is quite expensive, and you can't share a Copilot subscription across your family subscription. It's only per one user. So there are some tricks you can actually do to help you minimize the AI credit consumption if you are willing to sort of give up a little bit of the capabilities. So let me show you what you can do here for that. If I go back to Excel, what I can actually do is to try and bundle up things that I want to go ahead and actually do. So instead of actually writing, say, one command per instruction, which consumes one credit, I can do multiple things at the same time. So let's do this. Let's say highlight the rows of data with a population density over 10 in red, and sort by state name. So in theory, if I get this prompt right, it's going to do some row formatting, and it's going to go ahead and actually do some state sorting. So let's go back here. I'm going to hit enter. And now it's going through and understanding the data. It's looking at what needs to happen. And if we hit apply, then you can actually see both things have actually happened at the same time. And now if I go back to my browser window and have a look at my account and do a refresh, what we should see is one credit being consumed, but we actually did 2 instructions in this situation. So there you go, 41 out of 60. So the idea here is, as much as possible, to make sure you simplify the instructions you have, but when you're using it inside Microsoft products, make sure you try and bundle up those instructions all in one so you maximize the credit you're actually utilizing. Now, the second way you could actually help to minimize credit consumption is to not use the Microsoft products at all. Now, I'm not saying don't use Copilot, but use Copilot in a browser window instead. And you can actually talk to the AI to have it do some stuff with your data to help you get a similar output. Now, you have to be willing to compromise a little bit. The nice things about doing it inside the actual applications is that they can directly render the information or make the changes within the document itself. But you can still use Copilot outside in a browser to help interpret the information and get some sort of results. So let me show you what that looks like here. So here I am in Copilot in my browser on Safari, and I want to work with that same information, that data. So I can go up here and upload my Australian information. And what I can say here is add a column to the table in this file that shows population density. Now, if I get this right, what it will do is it will actually, you can see it happening here, it's looking at that table and adding another column to the actual table itself. In fact, if I show you that file only had the state, the population, and the area. In fact, I could actually ask, what are the columns in the Excel file? Now, in theory, there we go. It says there it's got a table with the following columns: state, population, and area. And it says there, I've also added population density in my previous response, which calculates how many people live per square kilometer. I can also go through here and say, please sort by state name. And now we see the states are actually sorted in the right direction. So you can actually see some pretty reasonable things to actually work with. Now, we did do something before, which we had the highlighting of the rows. Okay, so let's go through and actually try and do the highlighting of the rows on this one here. Highlight the rows with a population density above 10 in red. And let's do this. And ones less than 10 in green. So Copilot's having a bit of think about that. So I can't go ahead and actually edit it directly, but it can go ahead and actually tell you how you want to go ahead and do this inside the Excel document itself. What we could do, and I've seen this happen before, just in terms of different utilization. Can you show me what the table would look like with the highlights? There you go. So we can actually see that there's a version of this which can actually be captured here inside the browser as well. So it gives you a way to look at that information. Now, what you can also do is literally copy this table. I can go through here and copy that and then paste that into a Excel spreadsheet. And now that's not necessarily going to keep all of the rendering, but if I'm doing simple data manipulation, it'll capture that information as well. Now here's the kicker. As I sort of said, working within Copilot won't go ahead and actually utilize your AI credits. So if I go back over here to my browser window, and you remember from before I had 41 credits, if I refresh this again, and I've done at least 3 operations in the browser window, we will see that no credits have actually been consumed. So this is a good way to be able to utilize features of Copilot without costing you on your home subscription. If you wanted to render an introduction letter, you could do that inside Copilot in the browser versus Copilot in Word, because then in the Copilot browser, it won't take up a credit. In Word document, it will take up a credit. So what I would say to you, 2 ways of maximizing your AI usage for Copilot in a family subscription. 1, as much as possible, bundle up all of your instructions in one request to maximize the consumption of the 1 credit. And 2, try starting with the actual browser for Copilot first, because that way you're not going to be touching your credits in your subscription. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that was useful for you, and I hope you enjoy the incredible power that Microsoft Copilot has to help you become more creative, productive, and let you realize more. Thank you very much.